into it. Oh wow, that bike spike. Raid bosses appear when a certain number is hit. Okay, one, there is no song request. Yeah, they are pretty much like the hardest bosses in the game. They appear at... Someone actually calculated when they appeared, and that was like an hour and a half after it closed. Moving on. I'm just gonna go talk about the actual thing. They appear in a Hamel area or a Sander area field specifically, and you pretty much need access to either one of those two areas to actually get into it. When you get in there, you'll fight a giant boss who cannot be affected by any element or debuff. It's also possible that if you enter there as soon as you can access a Hamel field, you're going to get one-shotted. A lot. Learning how to dodge them is important. Even at max level with really good equipment, you can still get killed easily. Dealing a certain amount of damage, I believe it's also 5%, you get 3 raid boss cubes. And these 2 items. Yeah, even if you're capped, you can still get one-shotted, actually. Yeah, you can get these Ancient Guardian Stone or an Ancient Iron Stone. If you deal a higher percentage, I forget the actual number, you can get double the reward. So you can get 2 Ancient Iron Stones, 2 Ancient Guardian Stones, and 6 Raid Boss Cubes. Raid Boss Cubes are indeed better than Field Boss Cubes. You also have a chance of getting a Raid Boss weapon related to either one of the 2 Raid Bosses. And to note, they are the strongest weapons in the game. But they are rare. When you get it, they cannot be traded, and they are given... the box gives a weapon to the character you're playing as. It automatically comes at a rank 9. The only thing that can probably top that is maybe a Henya weapon. That is like a plus 11. That's the only thing I can think of that can top it. And I don't even know if it is. Night Watcher is better for PvP. Chance of a listed reward item dropping. Oh! Well, I wasn't using it. If you mean stuff like this, I'll actually look at the one that you said. Arpedium from Shrine of Dedication. Okay, so... Oh, I can't look because that's an Elisa's weapon. They're boss drops, and boss drops tend to be really good. Weapons, mainly, are like the ones that you want to use when leveling up, until you hit level cap. When you hit level cap, you want to go for secret equipment. But, otherwise, when you're leveling up, you want to use a boss weapon that your level can access. Like, pretty much the highest one available to you. Like I said, these are boss drops, so they are kind of rare. You can buy them from people in the market. To note, a number of the boss weapons are actually pretty cheap because a lot of people have them. So if you're planning on selling them yourself, don't expect to get a lot of ED for it, like maybe 100, 200,000. Except if they're rare. If they like, there are some that are rare, but they're usually for like Elisis, Aura, and Ad. Yeah, the chance for like a raid boss weapon is really low. Trans plus 9 is actually slightly less than raid boss weapon plus 9. Then I'm gonna guess that a trans plus 10 can outdo it, but something not as cruel, I would say. But then again, they can be pretty rare in terms of getting. But like I said, there is the market. You can always buy it. I didn't really talk about Henier. So, Henier is a special dungeon. It's pretty much a boss rush. Think like angry bosses from Grand Chase, or even the Relay Dungeon. The numbers here are related to normal and challenge mode. On normal mode, you can use items and resurrection stones. On challenge mode, you have no access to resurrection stones or items. You can, if you die, you can revive if you're in a party and your party reaches one of the rest areas. That's the only way to revive if you die. I don't recommend doing challenge mode unless you're like, after you do a bunch of normal runs. This way you learn how to fight the bosses, and you're also a decent level. And of course, I recommend in a party. You can use elixirs and mounts. That's really the only thing that you can get away with in terms of healing, as well as skills that heal, like Crimson Avenger and Wind Sneaker's Arlena. So pretty much like the 3 and the 1. The 3 is for normal mode. Within 3 runs, you'll gain items. After the third run, you can no longer gain any items. So these items are, well, I'm gonna have to show them off. That is not how you change characters. I'm kind of ruining my Rexion's pet personality through this, but you know what? I'll fix it eventually. Okay, yeah, let me actually quickly. This is one of the secret dungeon sets, the Dragonic Origin, along with the Ancient Guardian. I got a 2-piece Ancient Guardian effect because of the stats. Wow, I kind of had a brain fart there. Yeah, I get some decent stats from this. I would have liked the 5-piece, but I wanted the 5-piece from the Dragonic effect. The Dragonic 5-piece effect is pretty much a crit damage buff when you activate Awakening. So you pretty much gain increased critical damage. For Ancient Guardian, like I said, you gain MP upon Awakening, as well as removing debuffs. It's 50 on the Grendize version. Yeah. If you see people that are offering what Mama Donnie's saying, selling Gren service, it means that like people will do the Grendize portion of the armor sets, which is kind of like considered like one of the most, or not really one of the most annoying, which is kind of tedious. I'll go to Hamel just to show you guys one of the armor sets, and pretty much like the requirements. I'll talk about the marriage buff after, because I do need to mention that one. I forgot to mention it. Alright, so talking to a town's blacksmith will actually let you see like their secret dungeon set. As you can see, this is like for the weapon. 200 of the secret dungeon specific materials, and a bunch of the other secret dungeon coins and some weapon scrap, as well as the weapon itself to actually Grendize it. Now, for when someone is selling a service, it means that they will Grendize the equipment for someone to pay them. This does require the person to seal it, be it the person selling the service or the person who wants the service. Usually in terms of ED price tags, you gotta determine, are you paying for the seal or are you not? And for armor, mainly the top, bottom, gloves, and shoes, you can make the level 65 version of the set before you can Grendize it. Otherwise, you can get them from drops, you can buy them from the market. The weapons and the accessory you can only get as drops or by buying them from the market. Now back to the Henyer stuff that I was talking about earlier. You get these. One sec. Oh, sorry about that. Okay. So by doing a normal run, you'll get these pieces of time and space. Depending on how far you go into the dungeon. If you do a complete run, you gain a minimum of 60. If you do these extra stages that tend to pop up, you can get pretty much more than 60, depending on which stage you choose. Also, don't worry about that Mama Donnie. It's actually good to have someone help out with putting it in text. Yeah, 60 to 86 pieces total. If you do challenge mode, you can get these gemstones. There are also daily missions that will give you a gemstone from Glaive, who I will show after, and there is another item I don't think I have on me actually. Pet. This is my beloved Miho, by the way. This is why Dimension Witch can be the most overpowered character. Or, okay, maybe not the most, but really overpowered. You have nothing. Yeah, challenge mode will make the stages hard. Again, you can't use consumables or resurrection stones. The only way to revive is to hit a rest area while in a party, and the only way to heal is to have a Wind Sneaker in the party, use Aralina, use a mount, or use the marriage skill, or be a Crimson Avenger. Alright, so this weird guy over here is named Glaive. He is also a forum moderator for Elsword. So hello, Blood Ninja. Here you can pretty much give him the materials that you get from Henyer. Crap, I forgot what I was saying because I was reading the, I have to go into guild passes and guilds too, Alright, the stuff that you collect from Henyer can be used to make these equipments. They're actually pretty good, and here is where you can use the 2 raid items I mentioned to make a extra socket. So, you can see here, right next to the word unique, it says socket +1. The Ancient Guardian Wedges will give you 1 more socket to your armor, while the Ancient Iron Wedge will give you an extra socket to your weapon. So, you can pretty much put anywhere up to 4 or 5 magic stones into your equipment. My pet has a bag because it's one, it's an adult, and also because pets actually have inventories. You just need to level them past a life crystal. The amount of inventory space they have is determined on the pet itself. You can check the wiki to see how many inventory spaces each pet has and at what stage, or in each stage actually. But yeah, by collecting the materials and even the daily, doing the daily mission, which is right here, getting this too, you can create your own time and space equipment. The best one is the Transcendent from the Henyer set, but whether you want it or not is up to you. Now, before I forget, the marriage ability. To get this, you need to couple a player. As in, the couple system. So, first you need to purchase a couple ring from the cast shop. Then you gotta find someone. To note, for the couple system,